If you're gonna go for Marauders, you should just get that concussive shell as soon as possible. Because it's just so cheap. It's, what, like 10 seconds of gathering? I'm actually gonna go really ghost heavy, so I guess this works. I mean, the Immortals are already countered by the Marine, the Zealots need to be countered by the Marauders, and the Stalkers are also countered by the Marines and the Ghosts once EMP comes into play. So I guess if you're confident with your EMP use, you can do this, but it's kind of risky, because Ghosts on their own aren't very good. They're less bad than they were in Brood War, but that doesn't mean they're good. And I guess the Zealots also do help against those. I mean, the Ghosts do help against those Zealots. So that's a nice touch. This is going to be a lot of gas you're using, though, so you should probably go a little bit more Marine heavy, which is actually what he's doing. So it looks like this is working out pretty nicely. I don't think I've actually seen this many Ghosts in this small an army. Yeah, 4 Ghosts in one tiny little army. The supply depot placement is pretty solid. Yeah, the building placement overall is pretty nice. I would have liked to see another, one up here. I'm really questioning the supply depot. So if you can help it, well, with your first, well, actually with all your supply depots, they should either be around your base, in a clump near your mineral lines, so your guys can get back to mining as soon as possible, or even just in a clump. But you don't want to be putting it so far front, because that's where you're most vulnerable. That's where your opponent's going to be attacking about 90% of the time. Of course, the exceptions being harassment by, say, Reapers or Blink Stalkers in your back, or maybe Banshees, and the other exception being drops. Looks like a drop actually going to be coming. Maybe coming. So, let's see. Colossus on the way. Ooh, supply blocked again. He has, yeah, supply depot on the way. Where's the EMP? There's the EMP. Decent EMP, a little bit late. Another one over here would be really nice. There we go. Yeah, I assume he's gonna win over here. This probably wasn't the best replay to give me, because you won very decisively. This is a bit of an odd unit composition. The few Marauders are okay. I actually would have liked to see a few more. The Ghosts, you were a little Ghost heavy. 3 Ghosts probably would have been fine, but it's not really too big of a deal. Where's the EMP? There's the EMP. That was a stellar EMP. Very nice EMPs. Yeah, your micros was fine. This supply depots are mostly fine. The Ghost Academy can probably be delayed a little bit longer. The factory, yeah, I guess adding in siege tanks eventually makes sense, especially against like Colossi. Let's actually just go a little bit back. It's not really going to matter. There's not too much to look at in this game. You did pretty much everything right, so yeah, most of the things I have to complain about are kind of minor things. Getting supply blocked so early on, going for this reactor a little bit earlier than you really should be. Let's see. That's really... you could be a little bit more proactive with these units, so not actually here, but scouting around is a major thing that you should be worried about. So if your opponent was going, say, DTs, you'd be... Well, actually, the Ghosts can counter the DTs, and the Orbital Command as well. Oh, this is a late Orbital Command. Whoa. Okay, I missed that. Yeah, Orbital Command, you want to be getting 15, 16. And, like, at the latest, maybe, like, 20. But 35 Orbital Command. No, get that super, super early because of those mules that are just so, so good. That's about 270 minerals over the course of, what? Yeah, a minute and a half that they're alive? Yeah, you should be getting an Orbital Command, even if it means delaying another barracks, unless you know that your opponent is rushing, which is, by the way, something that you should know from scouting. So that's my major complaint: scouting, getting this late Orbital Command. All the other things is relatively minor, like going for this reactor before the tech lab. That's a minor thing. It's not super, super big. Going for these upgrades, yeah, sure. Well, actually, I think Concussive Shells, it's not the... Yeah, it's a pretty quick upgrade. So you can afford to get that early, and it's super cheap as well. But if you don't have any Marauders, I guess that makes sense. But you should, in general, be incorporating a few Marauders, if only for the slow. But yeah, everything else looks okay. Reactor on the starport would have been nice. But you didn't have a ton of gas because you're only on one base. Which is actually pretty understandable. Once you get to this point, you're a little scared to do some scouting. Although, have you scanned? Did you ever scan? Oops, wrong guy. Let's check it out. New. So let's check this out. I'm just going to assume that you have not scanned. So scanning, if you forget to scout out early on, go ahead and scan. It's worth the money that you don't. Well, it's worth the money that you delay getting from not getting that mule. So that's just another thing. That's about it. So, upgrades would have been nice, but they're kind of optional at this point. You're pretty low on gas because of how many ghosts you want to get. So, just gonna go over everything really quickly. Reacting on this starport. Doing something more with the supply depot, either completely walling off or putting it in a different position where you get more sight. Let's see, what else? You should be getting that concussive shell a little bit earlier. This orbit command should be going down around 15, 16, 17. 20 is probably the latest you can afford to get it. I mean, you should still get it after that if you forget, but you should be getting that early in your teens-ish. Let's see, scouting in the beginning, very, very important. And otherwise, yeah, well played. The army composition was pretty nice. And actually, you probably didn't even need these medevacs, to be honest. You probably could have been pushing out earlier. The medevacs didn't do too much. But that's just, if you feel more comfortable with the medevacs, you can just wait for these. Silver level, not the toughest. So I do think that you should probably be around goldish if you... I mean, this is a pretty nice... This was a pretty solid game. So, yeah, that's just about it for this one. I hope you found that helpful, all you Terrans out there who are somehow struggling. But, yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and thanks for watching, and so I guess wait for the next one. And until then, I will see you around. And, yeah, that's just about it. So, GG.